Alright guys, Aiden here. I haven't made a Supercoach video in a long time, but I'll be going over my round 4 team and how I went. But yeah, sorry I haven't posted Supercoach quite a while. I've just been busy the last couple of weeks, but now that the holidays have started, I'll start making the Supercoach reviews week in, week out. But round 4, another solid round for me. 2,261, so top 2% of the round. A total score of 8,537, so won the top 3% of the competition, which is good, and rank of 5,061. We surprisingly lost a matchup in the leagues, which is quite disappointing. But saying that, we won the other 2 matchups, so it's quite a high scoring round. Could have been better, but talk about that as we get into our team. Our team value is also 11,764, which is good. Going into our team. Let's get into the defenders. Doherty 185. I think he got about 32 disposals and his efficiency was really good. So he had a massive game. Really happy with Sam Doherty. Number 1 defender in the competition for Supercoach. So if you don't have him, he's a must-have. Jeremy Howe. I think he would have had about 150 if he hadn't gotten injured. He was looking really dominant in the game. I can't remember who he played. Let's just go back and check real quick. Yeah, he played GWS. He looked really good after getting until he got injured. Sorry. So he was on track for 150 plus the way he was playing in the last quarter. But 112, I'm definitely going to look to trade him now because I'm not sure how long he's out for, but it's definitely more than 6 weeks. So definitely have to trade, must trade this week. Houston 76. He's playing in defense support, so the midfield role that we were all looking for at the start of the season isn't there. So he might be one to look to trade soon as well. Personally, I will be holding him, but definitely if you do have the luxury to trade him, go ahead. Starcevic 64, that's good. Noble 72. His price at 266k, so Starcevic has overtaken him in price. And I'll take a 72. Look, it ain't too great, but you want a bit more from him. He's second-year player, but I'll take 72. He's priced pretty low, so take it. Brandon was alright with 49, and Cumming and didn't play. Butler on the bench was good on debut for 49, so those two were alright. Going into the midfield, this is where I scored most of my points, majority of my points. Neil is captain, so really happy with the captaincy on Lockie Neal. 147, so he got me around 300, which is good. Dominated through the keys tag, which is impressive. And he's just a contested ball winner, and he can play really well on the outside as well. 6 behind, a bit stiff there. Could have had a much bigger game, but definitely take the 147. Paddy Cripps was alright, 81. He'll bounce back next week. He's a star, contested ball magnet, so he should be fine. Zach Merritt, don't know how he's copping a suspension, so a 1-game suspension this week. So it's only 1 game. To be honest, he doesn't deserve the suspension at all. It was the most lightest. If you go into replays and watch that, watch what he did to Jack Silvani. It wasn't intentional at all. It's just a little nudge at the back. He had momentum running towards Jack Silvani, so dumb decision in my view. But yeah, AFL have become quite strict on these rules lately, so Zach Merritt will be copying a 1-week suspension, which means we'll probably have to field Tom Green, who looked really good in the midfield for GWS. So we'll just do that right now. Simpkin was really good, a 119, really impressive, had a massive last quarter, which is good. Mitchell was really good. So that last game, Mitchell, Simpkin, and Wingard all got above 119, which is good. So Mitchell was amazing, 8 tackles, so that's really impressive. And Wingard kicked about 3 goals, I think, so he looked really good. So those 3 players, really happy with, as well as Lockie Neal. Cripps was always going to score poorly, I think, in round 4. I didn't have much faith in him against Essendon. And Carlton have become a much more well-balanced team, I'll say. So I'm not expecting massive scores from someone like Paddy Cripps, but I do want him to get 100s for me, 120 for me, like in most occasions. But I'm not expecting massive scores like the 160s that he used to dash out last year. But yeah, I definitely want at least 100 from Cripps every week. but he's been pretty poor. Matthew Rowell was amazing, 114, so he's averaging 126 as a rookie. He's potentially a season keeper. I really like the way he plays. Anderson was also really good, 79. And then we fielded Merritt, as I said, but Tom Green on the bench, 94, it's a bit stiff. Brown and McKerney were also really good, so making a bit of money there, which is good. Going into the rocks, Grundy was amazing, 135, and Pitternet, 94 on debut was pretty impressive. So I brought in Pitternet for Jacobs, I think. I think that was my trade, can't quite remember. But Pitternet was really good, so I'm happy with that. Williams obviously didn't play, just ruck Phil there on the bench. Greenwood, 61. Probably look to trade him next week, as we have to get rid of Howe this week. Petrarca was good with 89. Looked really good, Melbourne player. Probably the best on ground for Melbourne. Him and Oliver were pretty good. Whitfield was also good, bounced back nice. He's dropping quite a bit in cash, which is a shame. But Brayshaw was alright, 78. Hold him for a couple more weeks, Andy Brayshaw. Smith was alright as well, 70. Yeah, not too hyped about Devon Smith, but he'll bounce back really well in round 5. I think Essendon, Essendon play Collingwood. We'll see how he goes. Buderick was alright for 47, Taylor on the bench, and King were pretty good, so they're making a bit of cash. But that was my team, guys. Solid score this week. Trades, obviously Jeremy Howe has to go for me this week. So I think Ridley had a really good round. And he's averaging 109, so we're going to bring in Jordan Ridley. Earlier this season I had the option to bring in Ridley or Noble, and I chose Noble, so that sort of backfired. Noble's not been great, and Ridley's averaging 109, so 40-point differential between those two, so would have liked to bring in Ridley much early on, but we're bringing him in now, which is fine. Then the other trade is getting rid of Cumming, and we'll bring in Hayden Young, who I think had a really nice game. Yeah, so he's got 109, and he's really cheap, so those are my two trades. So we've got 21 trades left, which would be about 2 trades every round, except we miss out on 1 trade on 1 occasion, so we have 2 trades every round, so it should be fine. We'll field Young over Noble maybe this week, I'm guessing. Or do we stick with... So I'm not quite sure who to field here, so Sam Doherty, we'll field Ridley. Houston, do we field? Yeah, we'll have to field Houston, obviously. Yeah, we'll probably end up fielding Hayden Young over John Noble. We'll see how that turns out. And midfield, sub-merit for Green, so that should be fine. Put emergency on. We'll chuck it on McInerney this week. Should be fine. Plays Melbourne. Tyler Brown plays Essendon. Yeah, we'll chuck it on McInerney. And then my forward line is just going to stay like that. So, captain on Grundy, vice captain on Lockie Neal. I think that's how we're going to go this week. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video next week. If you have any comments, make sure to comment them down below. And yeah.